Hi everyone, this is Sonia from Sonia's Mixed Media, and I haven't been on for a while. I apologise, but I have been working on a project that I've been keeping secret, and I'm really happy to announce today that it has arrived. And you can see here in this box that arrived today is a couple of copies of a children's picture book that I have written and illustrated myself and got printed through Createspace. And this is called Oh What a Mischievous Cat, and you can see there that it's written in and illustrated by myself. And I'm here today to talk a little bit about Createspace, and I hope you can see that, and what I've been doing. So Createspace, if you haven't heard of it, is a online self-publishing website, and I discovered it a couple of months ago now and got really excited. It's a free service that anyone can use who wants to self-publish a book, and the great thing about it, it's absolutely free to use, which I was astonished at. So that's what hooked me. And then if you do, these are a couple of copies I got. These are proofs, which are it's the proof copy before I hit the button to go ahead and make them available for sale through Amazon. But what I want to talk about more about is, I hope I'm not bumbling because I'm very excited. When I'm excited, I talk really fast. Well, faster than I usually do. So my idea was, I've always loved writing children's stories. I tried it back in my 20s, actually sent off a couple of children's picture book stories to some publishers, got a couple of knockbacks, and then forgot all about it and decided I can never do this. And then when I discovered, quite by accident, about Createspace, I thought, great, I'm going to get into writing again. And it kind of all fell back in place after doing Dee Dee Willingham's mind mapping. I thought I would do that, and I think I showed a bit of it. I thought I would do that towards geared towards my art and my different crafts I do, but what it actually did also is plant the seed in my mind about using mind mapping also for creating my picture book stories. So the whole thing just kind of fell in place, and I decided that I wanted to write some children's stories again. And because I do love art so much and creating art in all sorts of media, I thought, why not write a children's book and illustrate it myself? And I'm not going to lie, this took me quite a few, well, not that long really, I guess, when it comes to making a book. I'm quite a fast worker, so it probably actually only took me, I don't know, probably just over a month to do. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this. But what I want to say is that even if you don't want to actually publish children's picture books, Createspace is still great to use, because you can go ahead and still create a book like I have done with your story and your illustrations. And once you order the proofs, which you can order as many as you like, I just ordered 3, so there was one for myself, and I've ordered a spare 2 for my daughters to keep. I decided that if I don't want to publish this book, I don't need to hit the publish button on Createspace and make it available for sale on Amazon. I can just hit delete and scrap the whole project, and no more of these books will ever be out there in the wide world. And that might be something that some people are interested in, just creating little picture books for yourself and your own family and your own children to keep. Not everyone wants to be this huge published writer. They might be too embarrassed to have their stories out for the public to purchase, but that really is up to you. So this particular book is the first one I actually wrote and tried to illustrate, and I was having a lot of problems with the Word program, not doing my pictures completely, like they weren't coming out as I wanted. So this was really just a tester book. So this one here is not actually, I don't think I'm going to actually put it up for sale through Amazon. But it's a great book for me to see what the paper's like, what the cover would look like, what the quality is, and it's just, you know, you get your own barcode, you get to make your own cover. Yeah, to me the paper is a bit thin. I thought it might be a bit thicker paper. So it was just good to develop this and just see if I could actually do it, which I'm so excited because it does look good for a first attempt at making a book. And I've actually written 2 or 3 more children's stories in the meantime, and I have decided I'm actually going to keep writing, and I've enrolled in a couple of writing courses, and I actually do, you know, it would be a dream to be properly published writer with one of the big publishers out there. I don't know if that's ever going to happen though. I mean, a lot of people dream about becoming a children's book writer, and you know, it could, you know, it's they say it takes 10,000 hours to become really good at something. So I'm not sure what's that in years, perhaps 5 or 10 years. But in the meantime, I just think it's fantastic that there is a platform out there where I can still make my stories and my artwork into little books. And I mean, I've got 2 daughters, and I'm sure one day they are both planning to have their own children. And, you know, I have this little dream of, you know, babysitting my grandchildren and saying, let's come and read, you know, Grandma or Nana's book that I wrote, you know, and you know, have them laugh and giggle at little stories that I actually wrote and did pictures to. So this is actually a rhyming story, and I've written about it on the back here, my back cover. It says, a mischievous cat arrives in town and gets himself into all sorts of trouble. Where will he land next? A funny rhyming read aloud parents will enjoy reading to their child. So this is the cover I designed, and I used watercolour paints in this, and my daughter tried to use Photoshop, but we did have quite a few problems with the quality of the pictures. I don't know if it can pick it up, but we couldn't get them as bright as we wanted. But so I've got my writing on all the left-hand pages, and then I've got, you know, pictures throughout. Sorry, I've got all my writing on the right-hand pages. And yeah, I've just been having a ball with it, creating all my all my illustrations. That's one of my favourites, where he's sneaking up on the little baby crows. And I drew these all myself in my sketchbook, which I'll show you. And then I used watercolour to colour them in. And then my daughter used Photoshop. But the only thing that I couldn't seem to get to work is I couldn't get the pictures to bleed, which means to get them to right to the outer edges of the book. For some reason it just wouldn't do it, so that's something I have to look at in the future, but I'm quite happy the way it is. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it, and I'm happy that I can show everyone what I've been doing, and why I've been so quiet on YouTube is because I've been so busy creating this little rhyming children's book. So I wanted to show you that, and then I want to show you how I started, just in case you want to try this yourself. I went into my sketchbook, and basically I just kind of drew out the pictures, kind of designed them. I hope you can see that. Designed kind of what I wanted. So these are my initial sketches. And here we go as well. And then I later did them on some proper watercolor paper and painted them with watercolors. So this took quite a long time, actually, a lot longer than I thought, to do all the pictures. And then I just went in with my daughter into Photoshop, and we tried to enhance them a little and cut out backgrounds, things like that. There is the front cover image that I used, which is here. As you can see, the book came out quite a lot brighter once it had been edited in the software. And there's my initial picture with the cat creeping up on the crows, and there's Queen Macy at the end, and the boxing crow. And some more illustrations. There's one on the back of the cat, and there's another one there that I did. And yeah, I've just been having a ball doing this, and it's been so much fun. And like I said, I've been working really hard lately on creating lots of children's book stories. And I encourage anyone who may be interested in making their own book, or ever thought of making their own book. It doesn't have to be a children's picture book. You can also publish your own novels. You can publish little comic books or cooking books, or any type of book you can think of. You can self-publish them. For each, this is an 8.5 by 8.5 size book, but you can choose whatever size you like. And on Createspace, the proof copies, I think cost me like $3, something around $3 each. So what a bargain that is. It was $3 each for my books. That's all it cost me for the whole thing. And I'm doing a lot of ums. I'm really sorry about that. I'm just trying to think of everything to tell you to put in the one video. I'm trying not to forget anything. What I was going to say is, yeah, $3 each for your proof copies, and plus shipping. So I think shipping to Australia, because it's an American company, was I think $15, which I think is still fantastic. So a great investment to see my work in a proper looking book that I could never make at home. And it's really quite easy. The site, if you know how to use MS Word or Publisher, and you've got an editing program like Photoshop, I've now changed to paint.net, which is a free photo editing program, which I prefer to use because I don't know how to use Photoshop. That's on my daughter's computer, so I decided to download paint.net, which I recommend, and that's just like a basic editing program you can use to edit artwork and pictures and things. Yeah, just go ahead and do it. I mean, it's going to cost you $3, and if you decide not to go ahead and publish it through Amazon, you know, you don't have to. But the great thing is that you can hit the button, and what Createspace does is they make it available for purchase on Amazon, I believe it is. might be available to purchase in some other places as well, maybe as an ebook. I can't quite remember that part. And I believe that they have a price that they recommend you sell it for, and I think something like this is recommended for about $5-6 upwards. So you can do it at $6, or you can, you know, pick your own price like $9.95, and then you'll get a royalty whenever you sell a copy. So I think it's like you get like $2 or something like that. So you're not going to become mega rich out of it unless you get discovered and have written the next Twilight or something like that. So I wouldn't get into it self-publishing if you want to become rich by producing hundreds of books, because $2 for each one is not going to make you rich. But it is something fun to do, and it's something to keep on your bookcase and be proud of. And it's a talking piece, you know, you can, when people visit, you can go, look what I've got a book, I've published my own book. And if you've got grandchildren or children, you know, showing them, you know, your own picture book and reading your own picture book to them is just such an exciting thing. And I've got so many more ideas in the back of my mind, not just children's picture books, but poetry books. I've got not so much novels, but there's a little kind of comic. I'm not sure if I've showed you, but there's a little comic of myself that kind of does funny things. I'm thinking of maybe publishing that. And just, yeah, there's so many ideas, you know. You could make them for presents, and you could make a little recipe book and give them all away for Christmas as Christmas presents. And yeah, it's just a bonus that, you know, you can also make some money out of this by having them for sale to the general public. So this is what I've been doing. If you've got any questions, which I'm probably sure that a lot of you do have, please message me and by commenting below, and I will try to answer your questions if I can. Yeah, and keep your eye on this space, because I will have more videos coming up of more books that I'm going to publish through Createspace. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you some ideas. Yeah, even if you don't write, you could have just a picture book and just have all your art on every page. I just thought of that as well. Fantastic idea. Okay, so have fun, everyone. Have a great day, and please subscribe if you enjoyed this blabbing, umming video. Okay, see you, everyone. Bye.